What's going on, guys? Alec here from Fury Gaming, here to talk about the Q&A for the 600i, so let's get cracking. First of all, how does the 600i stack up in comparison to the other exploration ships? First of all, the Carrack is way above it. It's just a deep space, dedicated exploration unit. And compared to the Aquila, well, it's just an alternate version of the Aquila in like stats, basically. They're different, don't get me wrong. They're two different vessels, but they do the same job. They sort of go the same distance and that sort of thing. So with the 36 units it gets, the good question, does a rover eat into that? And yes, it does. Originally they said it didn't, but then it does. And they ask as well, any other modules? Well, we'll have to wait and hear from CIG. Next thing, there's no point of defense system similar to what's on other high-end luxury ships like the Phoenix, which is similar size according to stats, and the 890 jump. Well, the 890 jump is huge. The other thing too, as I said, the reason why they chose to move away from it was to give something different. So there's going to be two turrets that will be manned or AI controlled remotely. Now, our next thing was, can the Turian and Explorer modules be swapped in and out? Yes. And also too, why is it so expensive? Well, simply, it's meant to be like a luxury ship. Even though it's an Explorer, it's meant to be luxury, so that's why it's much higher price tag and compared to a Constellation, which is more robust and rugged. Meant to make it more unique. So next thing too is, how does it compare to other exploration ships? Well, we sort of talked about it earlier, but it's sort of around that Aquila type-esque detail. Can the 600i be flown effectively solo? Well, they said it can be flown solo, but it is designed to be used with a crew. Now, the asked too, can the Origin rover move on with the 600i? Like if you CCU to say like a capital ship or something higher than the $400 price tag of the Warbond version. Yes, it can. So what agility can be expected from it? Well, it's fast in a straight line, but it's a hulky mass, so maneuvering around isn't good at all. From here, will it have room enough to carry an 85X instead of an Origin branded rover? Well, not all of the cargo space is actually on the ramp. There's some that's off to the side in a storage compartment. So first of all, no, it can't take all these space, but it's not designed to be doing anything like that. How many beds, toilets, and safe seats? Well, safe seats I'm not sure about, but they reckon it'll be 2 toilets for the crew, one in the captain's quarters, a separate captain's quarters altogether for his bed, and then the crew quarters to stay together. Can the Origin X1 and the rover dock securely? Yes, but you can't put both in at the same time. So the X1 sits in its own little area, and then you have to move that onto the ramp to move down, from what I can understand. Next thing, missiles. Okay, there are 4 size 3 missile pylons, which means you can have 4 size 3 missiles per pylon. So there's 16 size 3 missiles all round, so basically 32 size 2 missiles, which is a lot. What part of the ship changed between Turian and exploration variants? Is it just the rear window section, blah, blah, blah? Well, it's basically the core of the ship, as they explained. The windscreen, or the screen at the back, is just a viewing port. But the core middle part of the ship is actually the model part. And they talk about here too, the thrusters. Well, they've got to rework all the stats pages, so don't take into account a lot of older ship stats. They've got to be reworked. Is the 600i Touring variant intended to be a moneymaker in the realm of VIP passenger transport, similar to the 890 Jump and the Genesis Starliner? No. Even though it's a luxury, imagine it more like a small yacht that you would take people on, like friends, not really so much for money. It's not really, it's more like a private yacht scale. Now, why only 16 and 36 SCU for such a large ship? It's a unique selling point. Because the ship is so unique in its style and its fashion and the way it operates, they've chosen that point for a certain reason. Next thing too, medical area. Well, there's not going to be any medical areas on it because the ship is so small. They're going to be planning to basically make it that you can only go so far with the ship, that when you come back, you're not going to really take any damage, or you shouldn't be if you're good enough. Last thing on the list was a really serious question. Why is it just the 600i with different modules? Not, like for the 300 series, you've got the 300i, the 315p, the 325a, 350r. Simple reason is because it's modular, not a different hull. So the doesn't require a different whole number. So guys, that's going to wrap it up. I hope it was cleared up any little bits and pieces you might have been curious about. I'll try to keep it short and sweet, so hope you enjoyed it and hope to catch you in the verse. Toodaloo.